Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're watching this Facebook Live. This is Dr. Olabintan with another tete-a-tete with Dr. O, where I give you few minute nuggets, shouldn't last more than 7 minutes, on how to increase your quality and quantity of life. Happy new month, it's December. My goodness, the year did go by fast, and but there's still time. There's still time in the year 2023, and so please, if you have people who should be watching this, you want to introduce me to them as a way to encourage them in their life's journey, just forward this video to them, like it, share, follow, subscribe, and you can tag them in the comments as well, because everyone could use some encouragement. So today's tete-a-tete with Dr. O is titled Fight to Thrive. Fight to Thrive. Now, some of you are wondering, why do I do this? Well, there's a lot of disencouragement going around. There's enough news if you watch to keep one feeling down, to keep one feeling discouraged, and that's not a way to live life. I do believe that we can thrive in the midst of challenges. I believe we can thrive in the midst of chaos. I believe we can thrive the best way possible, even through difficult situations. And so, because our life is so much of value, I don't want us to waste my life's passion is to help people not waste their life by helping optimize their quality and quality of life. So the topic is fight to thrive, fight to thrive, fight to thrive. How do we fight to thrive? Even in the midst of challenges, even in the midst of ups and downs, even in the midst of all the things we have to do, even in the midst of overwhelm. Number one, biggest thing I'll say is remember who you are. Remember who you are. I remember whose you are. I'll be honest with you, I find my identity as a child of God, as a Christian, as God's daughter, as a big deal. So I remember who I am. I remember that who I am means that I'm not alone. Who I am means I don't get to do life by myself. And I would encourage you to take that journey as well, to partner with God, even as you do life, because it makes life more meaningful, it makes life more fulfilling, it makes life richer. Okay? Who are you? Remember who you are. You are a daughter of a king. You're the son of a king. You're created for dominion. You're created to do life not by yourself. You're created to make moves. You're created to be an extension of God here on earth. Yes, yes. Sit in that for a second. So number one, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Number two, guard your surround sounds. My goodness, I'm not saying live in oblivion, but guard your surround sounds. What do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Where do you get your conscious and subconscious and unconscious motivation from? What are things that influence your mind? I know this sounds kind of like, okay, that's plain why we're talking about this, but you got to guard your surround sounds, but because they influence ultimately what you do and how you live life and how you see life. So are there people you listen to that keep you going, that keep you encouraged, that keep you saying, you know what, this is hard, but I can do hard things? Are there podcasts you listen to that tell you, hey, there are ways to do this better. There are ways to do this easier. Are you learning from people consciously, subconsciously? Are you taking a shower, listening to someone? Or are you sitting with binging on the news or watching one bad news and as such attracted more bad news? Because once you start watching more bad news comes. And again, I'm not saying live in oblivion. I'm just encouraging you to curate what is your buffer. Create what influences how you think, because how you think manifests in how you live. All right, how we think manifests in how we live. And so I want to encourage you to please guard your surround sounds. Start saying, what are the things I'm going to, no, unfollow that one. Oh, that one I don't want to hear anymore. Oh, I want to see less of these and I want to see more of these. Or you know what? That person really encouraged me the other day. I'm wondering if I can schedule time to chat with her every so often to tell her what's going on with me and to glean from her. Or, she looks like she's doing the things I see myself doing in 5 years. I could maybe ask her to be my mentor. Or, you know what? When I listen to this music, I feel encouraged. I feel empowered. Like, you know what? It's hard, but I'm going to do it anyway because she said in her song, you can do it. So what are things you're listening to? What are things you're reading? Who are people you're hanging out with to consciously and subconsciously influence how you think? So please guard your surround sounds. Okay. Number three, lean in for support. This one is a hard one. It takes, especially, I don't know, as women, we don't do a good job leaning to support. You know, it's easy to say, hey, you need anything? I got you. But when it's your turn, you like, nah, that's okay. I'm good. No, there's wisdom in leaning for support, asking for encouragement, asking for the hug, asking for help, and receiving the help. Ask and receive the help. Really, really important. Okay, so number one, remember who you are, whose you are. All right, very important. Remember who you are, whose you are. Number two, guard your surround sounds. Very, very important. Guard your surround sounds. You have to be intentional about that. All right, and putting that at the bottom of the screen so you can read that as well. Number three, leaning for support. Very good. Leaning for support. And number four, finally, your mental gym, your mental workout. That is not a passive thing. Your mind needs to exercise. Your mind, because, man, so I read the data overnight that I get emails every so often just letting you know what health data or the news or CDC or, as a clinician. And so the news I heard was that suicide rates went up, was the highest since 1947 in 2022. So they'll soon give the data for 2023. So it went up by 22%. And so while I'm not saying that, just changing your thoughts, and I don't want to trivialize changing your thoughts is the key to preventing suicide. It plays a big part in it too. So I don't know, unfortunately, or, we got to work out our mind. Meaning, how many of you have noticed that your mind doesn't naturally encourage you? Like, hey, you can do it. Remember how you did that? You could do this too. Our minds do not naturally encourage us. And so we have to work out our minds, how we think, what we think about actively to change, to strengthen our minds so it can actually help us. And these things sound, a little, maybe very simple, but very, very, very powerful. So you got to start speaking to your mind every morning. What are things you read? What are things you say to your mind to say, hey, mind, what you're saying, what you're projecting is not working for me. I need you to learn how to work with me. And this month will be my best month yet. And yes, the year so far has been rough, but there's still things to expect in the year. I can still put in efforts and still yield success. I can still form my support system. I can still start, to exercise. Yes, even though I didn't do it yesterday or the day before, I went for 5 minutes or I got tired, I can still try. So your mental workout is very, very important. You got to speak to your mind. You got to read to your mind. You got to meditate where you think on the thought that serves you, not a thought that does not serve you, not a thought that undoes you. Is that a word? Undoes? I don't know. All right? Our mind is not naturally geared to empower us or encourage us. It's not wired that way. So it's very important that we know this, and so we mentally work out. Listening to books that empower you, that encourage you. Listening to podcasts that tell you what's possible. Speaking to your mind. Yes, have a board meeting with yourself. Yes, like, hey, mind, today we're not going to think that way. No, I'm not going to let anyone provoke me today, or I'm not going to let anyone steal my joy today, or, I am doing the best that I can, and good things are coming to me. Good things are coming to me. Good things will come to me. Another way to train your mind or give yourself a mental workout is to think about the things that have worked in the past. Go back in time. Sometimes you got to tease it out, but go back in time and take stock of what has worked, challenges that you've overcome. To get to where you are now, you've been through a lot. You've been through some things to get to where you are. But your mind will never remind you, like, hey, remember how you did those things? This will be no different. You say, are you crazy? Why are you going to start something new? But you've done new things over and over again till it became old. So this will be no different. So please, number 4, I'm taking time to explain this. Exercise your mind. It's something you do every day. Sometimes you're like, man, we're back to this thought again. I thought we're over this. Nah. You start again. So like exercise, you never stop. You just keep going because it's important to keeping you living long and well. I hope this was helpful. I do ask a favor. Please like, please subscribe. Please forward this to someone who could use a little encouragement. We all could use a little encouragement. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I go back and I watch myself so I can tell myself what I'm telling others and remind myself of the things to living long and well. Have a blessed one. Welcome to your best month yet. And it's so nice seeing you all as well. Till next year, tete-a-tete. All right. We'll see you then. Bye.